Hello, gorgeous people. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. I am just hopping on quickly because I want to share a little bit about Abundant as Fuck, which is my course that is open for enrollment at the moment, and also share how I make consistent sales in my business. I've actually done a video on this before, but I wanted to update it because, well, since I did that video, I've learned a lot more about money and manifestation, how it works. So I want to share like the 2.0 version of that video, right? So I'm just going to make sure that we are all live in the group. That's perfect. Get my notes up. Yeah, welcome. I'm wearing yellow for the first time probably in my life. I have never bought the color yellow because I don't suit it, because my skin color is kind of more like a yellowy color. So I never, I've never believed that I suited it, and so I never bought it. But I remember my mom saying to me earlier in the year, and she's like, it doesn't matter whether you don't suit a color or not. If you like it, if it's a color that makes you happy, then wear it. You can, you know, dress yourself up in ways where it doesn't wash you out as much if that's what you're worried about, she said. But she was like, you see models all the time modeling these really pale, pasty, pastel colored items of clothing, and they are pale themselves and it doesn't suit. They look like they're sick, but they're still wearing it. So I was like, good point. And I love the color yellow. It's like such a happy color, so I'm rocking it. All right, so today we're talking about how I manifest consistent sales in my business. But first I want to tell you about Abundant as Fuck, which is my signature course, my amazing transformational money mindset course that I now open only once a year for enrollment. And it is all about uncovering and releasing your money blocks, your limiting beliefs, right, around money, because it's really important that you do uncover them, because if you leave them, you know, sitting there under the surface over many, many years of your life, they cause a lot of damage, right? And I know, like, I had such sabotaging patterns around money. So it helps you to uncover those beliefs and release them. And then there's a really special part in this course, which is the second module, which is about healing your relationship with money. And that, for me, like, that module is like the module that changes everything. It changes your whole relationship with money. It's what changed it for me when I actually went within and decided to heal these broken parts of myself around money and what it meant for me and how I felt I like deserved it, or in this case didn't deserve it, and my worthiness around it. It changed everything in such a short amount of time. And I'm sure you've seen me write that story many times in the Facebook group, through email, on Instagram, all over the interwebs. You've heard how fast it happened for me when I actually went deep into the healing work. And then, of course, the rest of the course teaches you how to jump into the energy and frequency of money and wealth to create the financial reality that you want and that you deserve. That is your freaking birthright. That's what this course is about. It's 6 modules. So you have 6 weekly videos that are probably about 60 minutes long. They probably will go longer. It's all recorded live. It's a brand new course. No one has taken this course before. And you get 6 weekly workbooks. You also get 6 live calls in the Facebook group, and you get access to the Facebook community, which is amazing. And then, of course, you get bonuses and a bunch of other stuff as well. So that is Abundant as Fuck. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me about it. But other than that, let's go into how I manifest consistent sales in my business. So like I said, I've done this video before in, I guess it would have been 2018, like near the end of 2018, because I recorded this video when I was in Bali. And my tips were great based on where I was at the time. But now, now that I've gone so much deeper with money and I understand it so much more, and now I'm very much co-creating to create it rather than like hustling to get there, it's different. My advice is different now. So the first thing that I would say in how I manifest consistent sales is uncovering my limiting beliefs and doing the healing work around money. right? Like you can't change anything if you're not willing to look within and change those things that are happening for you. Like, so many people I've seen just are in the same patterns that they were in a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, around money and many other things in their life. And they haven't changed anything. Sure, they might have tried like different manifestation techniques, but they haven't gone deeper. They haven't gone within. They might have done like the uncovering work, you know, like uncovering a few limiting beliefs, but they haven't actually healed them, gone to the dark places that everyone is scared to go to and heal that, bring that into the light and actually heal it, like for good, not like temporarily where you think you have, but you haven't, like fully heal it. And my beliefs around money before I did this work was very much that I had to work really, really hard for money. And even though I set up passive income systems, because that was like my focus from day one, I still worked hard. I still, you know, paid my dues. I still got in there every day and like did something, found something to do. And yes, I was making money and yes, it was great, but I was so exhausted all of the time, like burning out all of the time, even though I was making great money, because I wasn't sort of allowing myself to let it be easier, right? And one of my other beliefs was that I wasn't responsible enough to have more money. So when you think I'm bad with money, I have debt, so it shows that I'm not responsible enough to have it, like then I don't deserve any more because I'm not responsible. When you have that belief, you will sabotage yourself. You will make sure that you cannot get any more money. And if it does, it just disappears really quickly. And that's the problem that I had. Like, I would make a lot of money. Like I knew how to make money. That was easy. But it would be gone like that. I'd be like, where the hell is the money gone? Like, how can I have made this much money this year? And it's gone. Where is it? And that's because my belief was that I didn't deserve more because I wasn't responsible enough to have more. And so having that belief just sabotaged the shit out of me when it came to holding on to money, when it came to paying off my debt, because I believed that my debt meant that I wasn't worthy. And so if I paid off my debt, then that would mess with my own belief. So the debt just stayed there. It never changed. Like it was the same amount all the time. And so like I teach in Abundant as Fuck that you have energetic minimums and maximums, right? So a minimum amount that you will allow yourself to get to, like in terms of earnings, in terms of what you have in your bank account, in terms of debt. And then there's a maximum of what you will allow into your life, how much money you will allow yourself to allow in your bank account and allow like as debt, right? And so I had those really funky patterns with debt, with holding on to money, but not with making money. I could make a good amount of money, but because my belief in terms of holding it, I hadn't strengthened that. I hadn't done the inner work for that. It had to disappear. It had to vanish because my core belief was that I wasn't responsible enough to have a lot of money. So that was another one that held me back. And then also I felt like this was sort of more, it was probably going more off the not responsible thing, but it was more like I felt like I didn't deserve more because I was like, what was great about me? Like what was I doing that was valuable? Why did I deserve more? You know, like, and this is a self-worth thing that every one of us deals with in business, in life. And it was very much a self-worth thing around that I had to build up, which was more like a separate thing, but everything is all tied in together when you understand that this work is never like separate. It's never in separate boxes. It's like all meshed in together, all beautiful and messy. And so I had this sort of core belief that I didn't deserve more because there was something wrong with me. There was something not good enough about me. And that very much went back to my main core belief of fear of abandonment, which I share about in the course of Abundant as Fuck. I tell you all about that. And that was like a big one for me. So the first thing that I realized in manifesting more consistent sales, but not just sales, holding on to money and growing it and stacking it and being able to circulate it and be responsible with it and realize that actually I always was responsible with it. I just had bought into the story that I wasn't. It was uncovering these beliefs, these really funky beliefs that I had, and healing them and doing the healing work. Sorry, someone's just sent me a message. Go away. And doing that healing work, going deeper within and allowing myself to feel it all, because it's scary going there, okay? Like it is, it's scary. You need a safe container, a safe space, a safe environment to go there, because healing work is basically trauma work, because you're bringing up these things that you've hidden so much, you've pushed down for such a long, you've pushed down for such a long time that you bringing it up is like literally death. It feels like death to you. So you feel so unsafe. So it's really important that you create that environment of safety first in order to bring that stuff up. Because what I'm talking about, it's not just like how to manifest consistent sales every day. It's like how to completely change your relationship with money from the core. And I mean, change everything, change your identity about who you are and how you receive money, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to manifest more sales. It's, no, I have a deep, nurturing, harmonious, abundant, overflowing relationship with money now, that it isn't a problem, that there's nothing there to worry about because everything has been uncovered, everything has been healed, and anything that does come up, there is now a safe space within me to heal that thing, that stuff that comes up. That's the deeper part of it. And so yeah, that's the first thing in manifesting more money and holding on to the money, like keeping it and raising your standards, raising your energetic maximum, not just getting more money and holding it, but actually increasing it and being able to circulate it, because that's a whole other step that's like amazing and scary at the same time, because now you're like operating at a different level, you're at a different standard. So new things come up, new interesting things that, you know, could deter you, but when you do this work, when you solidify your core, and when money becomes such a strong, powerful, solid thing for you, you can experience these things happening around you and not be affected by them, but go into them and learn the lessons from them and like elevate into a new level, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that to manifest consistent sales, I realized, like I already was manifesting consistent sales, but I mean like elevating into mega money, basically. I realized that I wasn't working in my natural state. So you might have seen me talk about it a little bit. I've been talking about it a lot more in a few interviews I've done recently on the masculine and feminine energies, right? And so as a society, we have grown up to value hard work, striving, achieving, goal, like being goal oriented, going after the thing as how you succeed, right? That's the way to success. We've been taught as a society that that is the only way to success. And that is very much a masculine way to operate. And it's very much not the natural state for me, right? And when I say masculine and feminine, I don't mean man and woman. There are some women who identify more as a masculine type and some men who are more feminine. It's more the energy than it is the gender. So just in case you were wondering if like I was talking about you, I'm not. It depends entirely on who you are, right? So for me, my natural energy is actually feminine. And I wasn't working in that state. And so the other week when one of my friends said to me, I asked him just as a question that I tend to ask most people is, how would you double your business essentially? And he was like, you have to double down on everything. You have to work twice as hard. You have to hire twice as many people. You have to do twice the amount of content, twice the amount of advertising, twice the amount of everything, basically, if you wanted to double your business. It was very much matter to matter, like the hard grind, you know, just a lot of work. And when he told me that, I was like, God, that sounds awful. That sounds horrible. I don't want to do that. That just doesn't feel good at all. And he was like, well, how would you do it? I'm like, I'd do less. I would tap more into me. I would feel more into my energy. I would amplify the feelings of overflow, of massive wealth, of abundance. And I would envision the things that I wanted and then let myself be led by those visions, right? Let the inspired guidance come. Let the opportunities flow to me. I wouldn't do more. I would do less. And so this was such a great lesson for me in understanding the masculine and the feminine, right? And how we operate. And so probably in the first 3, I'd say 4, even in my 4th year, I was still very much going, like leaning over to the masculine style of working. I was very much, gotta work hard, gotta do the things, gotta achieve, gotta like track your money and write the goals down. And I hated it. I was burning out all the time. And as I started to do the healing work, as I started to move more into energy work, I realized that my natural state is feminine, right? Because I actually, like a side note, I had a problem thinking I was like quite masculine. I wasn't, but I felt like I was. And the reason I felt like it was because I was working more in that area, but my natural state is feminine. And so feminine energy is all about flow. It's all about being fluid. It's all about intuition. It's all about collaboration. It's about receiving. It's like the feminine is about opening and receiving, right? So the masculine is penetrating. It's striving, chasing, going after, whereas the feminine is very much like, it's creativity, it's messy, it's beautiful, it's sensual, it's unplanned, it's unstructured, it's just flow. That's what it is to be a feminine. And so when it comes to making money, manifesting money, holding on to money, stacking money, circulating money, doing all the things with the money, it's not the step. It's like, I'm just going to feel the vibe. I'm going to amplify that energy. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel like I have $1 million in my account. I'm going to feel like I am paying for this amazing dress that I have wanted for years that was like $1,000. It feels exciting. It feels playful. And I said this in an interview today, it feels almost like you're cheating. Like it's so easy because you're just having fun. It's not work at all. You're just playing. And that's my natural state. I love it. I love feeling like everything is easy. I love being in that state. I love being in flow. I love not having to feel like I've got to structure everything, like be really rigid with my work, because my work is creative. And so when I realized that and started moving more into my feminine and feeling like the energy work is it's very much feeling. When I started feeling more rather than analyzing, when I started getting out of my head and getting into my heart more, money not only took off even more, like I started increasing my energetic maximum for what I allowed, but money would stay. I would hold on to it. It wasn't disappearing. It was actually staying in my account. And then what I found is that my minimum started increasing as well. So I remember very vividly when I got to the like $10,000 in my bank account, and I remember it sitting there, and I remember there was like one day where a payment went out and it went under 10,000, it went like to 9,000 or something, or maybe 8,000. And I was like, this is not acceptable. This has to rise. And so what you do is like, when you hit your minimum and maybe you go under it, you'll do everything you can to get it back up to your minimum. And so like within a few hours, I had that account back up to 10,000. And so like I had risen it. Like my minimum used to be like less than $100. It may have been $10 at one point, maybe minus $10. And for it to go up to 10,000, that was like a huge moment for me, because I realized so much had changed. I had like really changed my relationship with money for good. It wasn't just me thinking it was, and it was like a nice thought. It was like this had changed at the core, because I had $10,000 sitting in my account and I didn't feel the need to spend it. I wasn't like rushing it out the door the second it got there, I was like, yeah, I have the capacity for this. This is like absolutely fine. This is my standard now. I won't go below this ever again. And so that's how it's been every time I've increased the minimum and the maximum. I just allow in more and more and more. And so that's what feeling into more of my natural state, my natural feminine energy has done. It's been easy, like really easy. Like I remember when I started started to start rewiring my mindset around like it gets to be easy. And I understood it for the place that I was at the time. But now I'm like, oh yeah, it gets to be really easy. Like so easy you feel like you're cheating a little bit. But it's like, it's not like a bad cheating. It's like a exciting cheating. It's like a delicious cheating. Like you're getting your cake and eating it too. That's how it feels. It just feels like life is like this never-ending party, and it's your party that you get to enjoy every day. Which is amazing, right? It's a huge change from getting up and like being like, okay, I've got to do this and check off this and do this. God, no, I'm going to double down and do like double everything in order to double my business. God, no, that's just mind numbing. No, I'd rather just get in and tune in here and let it happen energetically without me having to double anything. So yeah, that's the second thing. The third thing, and the final thing of how I manifest consistent sales in my business, is that I follow flow, and I followed flow to the aligned ways to get paid, right? And so I've talked about this a few times where I set up the systems that enabled me to get paid, right? But I had set up a lot of those systems long before I learned about the feminine energy. But because I had those systems set up, once I started tapping more into this vibe, into this energy, I uncovered my beliefs, I did the healing work. Once I did all of that, that's when the ideas came. That's when more money came through the systems that I already had set up, right? So I already had lots of passive income systems set up in my business, and so more money would just start flowing through them. More people would find out about me. Someone would share like something I wrote or something like a video I did, or just tell everyone about me in their group, and then I get an influx of new customers. And also I would get ideas like out of nowhere on how I could monetize the situation or make money from something. So one of my favorite things was, there were two. One was TikTok. This mastermind group that I'm in, we had a content challenge. And for me, I was like, well, I'm already really good with my content. Why don't I do something that's just more creative and fun just for the hell of it? Let's get on TikTok. And so on TikTok, every day I did just a video, like a simple 15-second video of like, most of them were about creating ebooks because, I don't know, that's just what I was led to do at that time, right? And in 21 days, I had 8,000 followers, and I had a huge influx of customers, of subscribers, of followers on YouTube and Instagram. And I wasn't even trying. It just happened. And like several of my videos went viral. It was like, what the hell happened? I wasn't even trying. I was just having fun with it. And then I won the challenge. So I won like, what did I win? Like basically $1,000. And I also had all these new followers, all these new customers, and all these new subscribers. And I was like, that was just from being fun and playing. And then another time was, I was speaking at Alt Summit in, was it March? I think it was March. Yeah, I spoke at Alt Summit in Palm Springs. I love Alt Summit. If you ever want to go, do it. Do it. It's worth it. And I was speaking there, and the gig was unpaid, right? You got a free ticket to the event, which I think was like $1,200 or something like that. But you had to like pay for your flights and accommodation over it. And I was like, how can I get paid from this so that I can like essentially go for free? And I like just left it like that. And then the idea came to me to create the workshop that I was teaching, because I had to do the slides, right? I had to like create the slides before the workshop. I was like, why don't you like do a run through of the workshop as an actual paid workshop to your audience, so they get it and you get to do a run through and get paid for it. So I essentially got paid to speak at Alt Summit because I created the work, like the slides, the workshop for the summit, but I got paid for it because I like did the run through and charged anyone who wanted to like watch it with. That was inspired. That was following flow. That was easy for me. It was so easy. And yeah, so that's what I meant by I just followed flow to get paid easier. It wasn't like I did things that I didn't want to do. It was more like I was open and receptive, and because I was doing the energy work and the frequency work every day, I was open to ideas, and they just come, they just appear, and then you're like, oh, I love that. That's such a good idea. Why don't I do that? And then like within an hour, you have a sales page and an outline, and you're selling it and you're getting sales. Like that's how easy it is. That's how I love doing business. That's how I'm gonna do it from now on, because it's so much easier. I feel more energized by my business now than I did in the first couple of years, because now I'm aligning my energy to the natural state of who I am, as well as how I want to do work in this world. So it is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that is how I manifest consistent sales in my business. If you have any questions, let me know. But Abundant as Fuck, the extended payment plan, ends tomorrow. The cart, the actual enrollment, ends next Friday. But if you want to get on in the extended payment plan, that ends tomorrow. So head over to the link. I'll put it in the box below. And yeah, I'm very much rubbing myself in front of you. That's weird. But yeah, like I love this work. Like I was talking on this interview today, how we were talking about being high vibe, right? And high vibe, it gets a bad rap now, because a lot of people, how they understand it for where they're at, high vibe, they're using high vibe as a way to bypass. You know, they're using it as an avoidant type of behavior. It's very much like this bad thing is happening and it seems to be a recurring theme in my life, so I'm just going to get high vibe and like ignore it. Like that's what I mean. But high vibe, what high vibe really is it's a fully integrated energy. It is, like I said before, it's very grounded. It's strong, but it's soft. It is stable, and it is loving and warm, but it's solid. Like it's immovable. It's not like a flimsy like thing. It is really at the core of you, and it's amazing. When you get high vibe like that, everything just flows so easily. I love planning out my days, but I think I'm quite feminine in my energy too, as I resist the schedule and want to go with flow. Any tips on how to schedule schedule our day in a feminine energy way? Well, yeah, not schedule it. I don't schedule any of my days. Like the only things I do schedule are when I have interviews with other people, because, you know, there's another person involved. But other than that, I do my business 100% my way. And so most of the time, I don't wake up till 11 a.m. And even then I'm like, well, I don't want to get straight into work. I just kind of want to chill here and like feel into my energy. Maybe I will go upstairs and get a coffee. Maybe I will, I don't know, like listen to meditation music. Like it's not the same every day. And that's the thing about feminine energy, is it's not meant to be the same. It's not meant to be rigid. It's meant to be flowy. And when you allow yourself to be in that, right, what tends to happen is that you naturally find your own routine. You find like your own way of doing things. So even though I don't have like a set routine of like at 12 o'clock I start work, at 1 o'clock I have a break, at 3 o'clock I go out for a walk, even though that doesn't happen, I still manage to do all the things I want in the day, but it's when I feel like it. Right? So you have routine, you have structure, but it isn't structured and it isn't a routine. if that makes sense. It's just how you feel. And when you allow yourself to do that, it's easy because you're not guilting yourself for not doing something at a specific time. It's just, when you're not putting pressure on yourself, and so you want to do it, right? Like for an example, yesterday, because my dad has been trying to get me to play golf forever. And so yesterday I met him at the driving range and we were there. And when I, like my first couple of, what do you call it? Drives, putts? Oh my God, I don't even know what it's called. Hitting the ball. I was rubbish, like it was going off to the side, like one smacked into the side of like right in front of us. It almost like bounced back and hit me in the face. One got stuck in the net. One went like circling off somewhere. And then my dad, he went away and went to talk to a friend he saw, right? The second he left, it was so easy. Like I was smacking them straight and direct. Like it was perfect, as if I'd been like doing this forever. But did he see it? No, because he was gone, because there was no pressure for me to do it. So I felt free to be creative. I felt free to relax. And so that's what the feminine energy is. It's feeling free. It's taking pressure off yourself to do anything at any time or be anywhere or be anyone at any time, any moment, and just letting yourself flow. And then you naturally just find your own flow and routine through that. Yeah, hope that helps. Yeah, let me know if that resonates. Cool. Yes, it's awesome. Like I feel like I just discovered something brand new, but it's not. But also on this interview that I was talking about today, the whole feminine energy thing, it's very much, it still feels new. It still feels like we're learning this stuff, like it's becoming more mainstream. And I wonder if it's because we went so into the masculine for such a good chunk of time, a few decades, that we're like realizing this isn't really helping us. Sure, like we do have both elements. We have duality in us always, but our dominant state is feminine. And that's what I love. I love it. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna hop off. But if you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the comment box below. Link for Abundant as Fuck is below. Payment plan, extended payment plan ends tomorrow. And yeah, I will catch you again very soon. Bye.